Alright, so I just want to make a quick video. I don't know if it'll be quick, but um, I got one of these new Hobbywing Max5 version 2s because my old one fried. Got water into it. It was a whole big mess. But Hobbywing was great through the whole process. They gave me a good deal on a replacement. And I just thought I'd make a quick video on upgrading the factory fan that they come with. Because I have had bad luck with breaking those fans on, nasty landings when you're doing dumb shit that you shouldn't do. But you have to because it's so fun. So, just thought I'd rip this thing apart, show you guys what the process looks like, because I couldn't find any videos anywhere about it. And I know it's something that can benefit other people. So, here we go. Pull these couple screws out. This is a 2.5 millimeter. So we'll get those couple screws out, open this housing, and then get some measurements on this factory fan and see what we can order that might fit in that location, even if it takes slight modification. We'll walk you through what needs to be done. Alright, so there's our 4 screws. Now there's a small plug, very small plug right there. Maybe I should grab a little screwdriver, see if I can pop that out. I don't want to just yank on it. Let's see what happens. I don't know if there's a little lip to get on. Yep, I got on a little lip in there. Come to daddy. There it is. And it popped right out. The orientation is marked. Positive is to the left, negative is to the right. But they do have it marked on the case, so you can't really mess it up unless you're not looking. Alright, so that all comes right apart. Here's our fan. And it is pretty plasticky. These supports are pretty thin. I mean, I've seen worse, but I still am not going to trust it. And it says it's a Cyclone 6-volt rated at 8,000 RPMs. So there's definitely better options out there. Let's see if we can get a measurement off of it. And then I'll do some research and see if I could find a nice Surpass Hobby or rocket fan to replace it with. And then we'll see if we can get it inside that housing. So it looks like it is a 45 millimeter fan. And looks like the bolt spacing is roughly 30, about 38 millimeter spacing, somewhere in that neighborhood. So either way, it's a 45 millimeter fan. So I'll start doing some research and I'll check back once we get that all done. All right, so after doing some research, turns out that you can't really find 45 millimeter cooling fans to work in this factory Hobbywing housing. But what I did realize is that I had a rocket fan, aluminum bodied rocket cooling fan, laying around that I like to run on pretty much everything. I haven't had any issues with these ever. I never break the fins on hard landings. They seem to hold up really well. Plus, the air output is exponentially greater than what these things can do. Like, for example, these stock ones put out 8,000 RPMs and it's rated for 6 volts. These rockets, I just checked on Amazon, and in the specs they call for 28,000 RPMs if you have the BEC voltage set to 8.4 volts. So even at a lower, more stock BEC voltage, it's still going to be way better than what these things do. So what I found is with a 40 millimeter rocket fan, I took my Dremel, I have one of these Milwaukee cordless Dremels, and I cut out the bolts, the outside of the housing. I just opened that up just enough so that it can actually sit in place and the bolts sit right in those little notches that I put in there. So it's not perfectly in the center, obviously, because it's a smaller fan, but it does catch in between the two edges that are created once you open those holes up. And it fits in there pretty good. So other than that, I did put a tiny bit of hot glue on the bottom where the wires come through just so it stays in place. But I'll throw it in there quick so you can see that it fits. And that's what I'm going to be running. I did this on a couple other cars and it worked out pretty well. I just didn't expect it to work on these new Hobbywings for some reason, but it does, so that's awesome. So you snake the wires up in there. Try to keep it centered the best you can as you lower the housing back down. Okay. And you can kind of slide the fan around underneath the housing to get it centered with one of your drivers. Almost, almost. Come on, work with me. Work with me. I wish it was a tiny bit smaller of a tool I had here. Okay. That fits in there pretty good. Now. Okay, bolts start to slide down in. There's one. I'm going to try to hit an opposite corner. And that should get things started towards being centered correctly. I'm going to have to grab a little flathead. It'll make this a lot easier. Okay. Yeah, my tools are kind of all over the place because I have a few different little projects going on at once. Okay, there's the second one. I'll just get a couple threads caught, get that started. The last two should drop right in. Okay, I'll snug them down. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And we're going to have an ESC that doesn't overheat as easily. Which it shouldn't. I'm only running it on the stock Spectrum 1250 kV motor. I think I did step the gearing up a little bit. I might be on I think a 30 pinion and a 47 spur, but it's not going to be drawing too much current. It'll work out. Alright, that works out good. The rocket fan fits in there pretty damn nice. So, yeah, that's it. And the rocket fan already has a 2-wire connector. I don't know if it's going to fit in the stock one yet. I might have to solder the connector off the stock fan onto these wires, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward. So, yeah, that's one good way to get a better fan into a stock Hobbywing housing without buying a whole upgraded fan mount situation. Gotta save money where you can with these projects, because it adds up fast. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps someone.